La 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 la. Hey everybody, we're talking about properties of parabolas, Kuta worksheet. Check it out. Search properties of parabola Kuta. I'm sure you'll probably find it. Here's problem 7 off of that worksheet. And we were trying to specifically identify the min-max of each value, sketch the graph, blah, blah, blah. So, looking at this equation, first of all, what is the value of A, B, and C? Negative a quarter, negative 2, and negative 2. Correct. So let's try to find the vertex.
So
right?
You're going to go negative B over 2A.
I like it a lot. So opposite of negative 2 over 2 times negative a quarter. So let's see what's going on here. So that's going to be positive 2 over negative, let's see, 2 times a quarter. I don't know if you guys know this, but that 2 could cancel out with that 4 partially, giving me 2. So that's going to be negative 1/2. Dividing by a negative 1/2 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So I believe negative 4 is what I get for the x-coordinate of the vertex H. I think so. That's what I got.
You can't go that fast.
Let's see, so K, I'm going to do f of H, so f of negative 4, so that's negative a quarter times negative 4 all squared minus 2 times negative 4 minus 2. So negative 4 squared is positive 16. And also make sure you don't try to multiply before you square. Shame on you. Here we go. Here we go. 1/4 of 16 is 4, and apparently it's negative in this case. Plus 8 minus 2. So negative 4 plus 8 is 4 minus 2 is 2. Aha. So that means my vertex is the point negative 4 comma dos.
Negative 2x.
Wait, why
I'm
is
not
it
sure.
2? Why is it 2?
Because negative 4 plus 8 is positive 4, and 4 minus 2 is 2.
And you got the negative 4 because of the, you have to put the 1 and the 16 together, and the 16 plus 8 is 4.
You got it, dude. You got it. So let's see. So there's our vertex. Let's find our x int slash, I'll call this also roots slash zeros. Those are all somewhat synonymous with one another. So let's see. To do that, we set the function equal to 0. So negative 1/4 x squared, or was it minus 2x minus 2, set that equal to 0. And solve, I'm going to try to solve by factoring, but first I want to get rid of this 4 and maybe that negative. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 4.
Get rid of the
Yeah, just kill those fractions, yeah. So I'll get x squared, negative 4 times negative 2x is positive 8x, and negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8 equals 0. That's much easier to work with. However, sadly, when I try to factor this, there are still no factors of 8 that add to be 8. That's a shame. So that means I'd have to quad form it. And in this case, I'm going to quad form with a equals 1, b equals 8. Yeah, this would actually have been a real pain to try to quad form it. Technically, they didn't ask for the x-intercepts. You could have skipped this part of it. But we'll do it out here. So let's see. So x equal, and also, timeout. You could have quad formed it with a equals negative a quarter, b equals negative 2, and c equals negative 2. It just would have been really ugly to do that. So it's much nicer to work with this guy right here, a simplified version of it. So x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All over 2a. 2 times 1. I like it. Negative 8 plus or minus the square root. I wonder if there's a dubstep version of that song on YouTube yet. That'd be amazing.
You don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 32 over 2. So I'm going to get, let's see, I'll continue my work up here. So I'll get x is approximately, and I'll do negative 8 plus the square root of 32. Oh, I need parentheses around that whole thing. Or I can hit enter after typing that and then do divide by 2. But I'll do it all at once. And I get x is approximately negative 1.17. And when I do it the other way, just so you can see what I'm doing here, bam, I'm going to hit second entry, and this time I'm going to go over and change this plus sign to a minus sign.
Do you have to do it like that?
Well, or you could have entered just this part, hit enter, and then hit divide by 2 and hit enter. But yeah, these parentheses are important because I have to do the addition before the division, which without parentheses, it wouldn't know any better. Negative 6.83.
Equals 1.17.
So those are the points, negative 1.17 comma 0, right? And negative 6.83 comma 0. Aha! So even though we didn't have to necessarily find those points for this problem, it still is helpful for us to get the practice on that skill. Let's see, how about the y-intercept? Everyone's favorite. Negative 2, because the value of c. Bam, 0 comma negative 2.
Or would it be the second C that would take?
No, it would definitely still be the first, the unmodified, but that's a good question.
Y-intercept is
Negative 2.
negative
So question, which way does this graph open?
Down.
It opens down because negative a fourth is less than 0, so it opens down. And what is the shape of this graph?
That.
This is less than 1 if I take its absolute value. So it's a smoosh, vertically speaking. Very specific math word there that I am probably the only mathematician to use, maybe. Smoosh. And let's see, hey, how about, let's just find the slopes while we're at it. Sloppy. Sloppy. I'll make it plural, I suppose. Slopes. So instead of 1 over 1 and 3 over 1 and 5 over 1, I am going to multiply the numerators by the a value. Am I right? So this is down a quarter over 1. So the rise is this part right here. This is down 3/4 over 1, and this is down 5/4 over 1 for my slopes. So let's visualize what's going on. Let's see. I've got a vertex. I'll come back to that in a moment. Negative 4, 2. It opens down. Yeah. Whew. So negative 4, 2. X-intercepts, I have to go at least as far over as negative 6. The y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, so let's see if I can figure out a decent spot. So negative 4. And I've got to go all the way out to negative 6. Looks like it's mostly going to be in the second and third quadrants. So my x-axis I can just count by ones. I have to go out, I guess, to negative 7. And my y-axis, let's see, I start at 2. But because A is measured in quarters, I'm going to have my scale, my tick marks measure in quarters, okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. I think that's as high as I have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. 2, 3, 4, negative 3. And so forth, right? So let's talk about graphing this. So the vertex was what? Negative 4, 2? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to the 2. Tippity-toppity. Tippity-toppity. The slopes. Well, actually, I could plot some other points if I wanted, but let's do the slopes first. They're my favorite. Down a quarter over 1. So from here, I'm going to go down a quarter, which is this distance, right? And then over 1. Then down 3/4 over 1. So down 3/4 from there actually brings me to 1 for the height. And over 1. There's another point. So this was down 1/4. This is down 3/4. You don't have to label those, but I'm just specifying. And then I'm going to go down 5/4. So from 1, I'm going down 4/4, and one more is 5/4. So I'll be at -1/4, then over 1 there. So, let's plot those points. Now, question: what would my next slope have been? It'd be down 7/4, right? Which I just want to point that out. Normally I don't go that far, but watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And over 1. Anyone remember what that y-intercept was? It was -2, friends. What do you know? What do you know? Let's see, so the axis of symmetry is right there. Did this actually want the equation of the axis of symmetry? I could tell you what it is. It's x equals to h every time. And h was -4, I believe, is the axis of symmetry. All right, and that's an equation of a line, not a number. So I'm not looking for the number, I'm looking for the entire equation. And I can mirror my points over that. So this is 1 unit away, so 1 unit away over here, bam. 2 units away, so go over 2 units here, same height, bam. 3 units away, so 3 units away. Yeah, is that right? And then 4 units away and 4 units away, I could do that. So there is a point -7, -2 on this graph if we were interested. And then I can draw this beautiful parabola. Now let's see, what was my x-intercept? Didn't I get, -1.17 and -6.83. Did I miscount? 4, 5, 6, yeah, I just miscounted, that's all. I'm a crazy person. Crazy person. So yeah, so here's -7. There we go. So notice my x-intercepts occurred at -6.83, somewhere around there, and -1.17, somewhere around there. Is that what I said? Yeah. So that does appear to verify its location. And look at that, I've got a beautifully upside down, smooshed, frowny parabola. Woo! Someone's excited. I like it. So, so that's a good problem right there. Blah, blah, blah. Time out. We didn't answer the question. It says identify the min-max value of each. So notice on this particular shape, there is not a minimum value because it just keeps going forever, but there is, however, a maximum value, which occurs right here, right? It's the peak of my hill, and the maximum value occurs at 2. So a little side note about upside down parabolas. They always have a maximum value, and it's going to just be the k value. And for right side up parabolas, that would have a minimum value. It would be the bottom of the valley instead of the peak of a hill. And that would still be the k value, right? So right there, so max 2, bam. All right, so let's look at one more problem here. 14, they specifically asked, they said identify the vertex, axis symmetry, min-max of each function, blah, blah, blah. So looking at this guy, a equals 10, I'm going to cruise through this. B equals -hundo. What? Then grab another piece of paper. This is too good to not write down. Too good.
We're holding up for a second.
So let's see. The vertex is going to be negative of -hundo over 2 times 10. So that's hundo over 20. So that's 5. That's h, by the way, that I just found. K, the y-coordinate of the vertex, can be found by doing f of 5 This is going to be larger. 10 times 5 squared minus hundo times 5 plus 240. So that's 10 times 25 minus 500 plus 240. Oh, it's actually going to balance out itself pretty good. So that's 250 minus 500 plus 240. That's going to equal, let's see, negative 250 plus 240. That's negative 10. So 5 comma negative 10 is my vertex. Let's see, what else do they want us to know? Axis of symmetry. So for this, the AOS is just going to be x equals h, or x equals 5. And question, does this have a min or a max? How do I know? Well, it's related to which way it opens. 10 is greater than 0, so it opens up. And if it opens upwards, then it has a minimum value, and the minimum value is going to be k. So that's negative 10. All right? So that's all you had to do for that one. You didn't have to graph it or nothing. Yeah, if I was looking for the x-intercepts, I would divide everything by 10 for sure before I tried factoring it. And is it factorable? Let's see, 24 factors of 24 that add to be 10? No, 2 and 12 would have subtracted. Oh, 6 and 4 represent. So that means this one has x-intercepts at positive 6, positive 4? No. Yes, positive 6, positive 4 would have been the x-intercepts on that guy. In fact, tell you what, let's just open up the old graph paper here right now myself. Well, the factors would have been x minus 6 and x minus 4, but when I set those factors equal to 0, I think they would have changed their sign. 10, oh, z is not 10, by the way. I don't know why I was doing that. 10x squared minus hundo x plus 240. Look at right there. Oh, and what do you know? Those axes, x-intercepts, sorry, definitely occur right there. Not bad. And where did we say our vertex was? At negative 10. What do you know? And that's a skinny parabola because it's, notice it's growing by a factor of 10. It's stretched, right? Massively stretched. So there you go. So anyways, thanks for watching, internet friends. Do your homework. Ba-bam.